Travis, you been doing the men and women?
Yeah. Except for the games I was away, like for Aussie stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But besides that, I think pretty much everything. You guys good?
Pretty much more down on the fact that when they broke out a scout and didn't follow their rules was when Spartans started to get their roll on. So, you know, I'm not expecting to see any major adjustments from them tonight. It'll be more around them trying just to get everything right and continue to follow their game plan throughout the whole game.
Dave, I thought it was huge when the Spartans, it just seemed that they got a lot more physical in the second half, and they really started to push away. I think a positive sign for Spartans was Ambrose Anderson was fairly quiet, yet they still were able to run away with the win.
Yeah, I think they really were. Definitely dominant defensively, brought a lot of good physicality to the contest all game long, and that just wore on them a little bit. In particular, how they defended Garvin and co. And so I think that tonight, the big difference for Townsville is how they're going to move offensively, and I guess get more offense from everyone else other than Garvin. I kind of was throw it into her and hope that she gets us home tonight. So they need to have a different plan tonight.
And Districts did a great job of double teaming and sending extra help, and I know that's one thing that they'd worked on at shoot around this morning was when that double team comes down on Darcy, you know, what adjustments they need to make to find the weak side a lot better. You know, Darcy had a lot of turnovers out of that last night, and I know that's something that they will adjust this evening.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see what Spartans do tonight also to try and get Ambrosia Anderson on track. She was fairly quiet last night, but I thought Aisha Parham was fantastic. One of the key areas I think that Townsville's going to look at, trying to keep Parham off the offensive glass. What do you do to slow down a guard attacking the offensive glass?
Well, look, Parham, you know, whether it be offense, penetration, last night she basically had whatever she wanted to do. So, you know,
we'll see how we go tonight. We're getting set for the tip. Back with you here at Star 106.3 FM Stadium in Townsville. It's an 11-7 7 lead for Spartans here. Pretty good start from both teams. Anderson's open for 3. That's a little off, but another offensive rebound for Spartans.
Well, a lot of turnovers and allowing offensive rebounds. Not a great start here for the Flames.
Long 2 there from Ambrosia Anderson.
Spartans have been really impressive in the start. Unselfish basketball, making the extra pass, great cutting, good ball movement. Just looking really sharp here early on.
That was a good block by Bear. Walsh open for 3, misses. Taya tips the rebound to Bear.
Well, it's simply, you can see Spartans are playing loose right now. They're up 1-0 in the series. They're not having to play for as much right now. And the Flames, everything's just a little bit tight right now.
Yeah.
The passes are a bit all over the shop. They're just looking a little bit rushed. They need to settle into this game as we see another turnover.
Could have been a foul call there. Referees let it go. Townsville looking to capitalize. The pass is over the head of Lisa Brennan. Got to apologize to everybody for the technical difficulties. Few internet issues, few audio issues, but we should be back up and running nice and smoothly for you from here on out. We'll keep our fingers crossed though. While I'm at it, let me give a shout out to all the Townsville sponsors: A. Gabrielli Constructions, Dennis's Computers, Q Solutions, Beehive, Mendy Constructions, and also Grilled Townsville. So about 4:30 into the game, it's a 6-point lead for Townsville. For Spartans over Townsville. Spartans looking to close this one out in 2. They're going to get Parham for the 3-second call. Good call there by the referees.
And we've seen both teams probably go to their benches a lot earlier tonight than what they did last night.
Yeah.
Both starting groups probably played deep into the first quarter until there were changes, but we've already seen substitutions for both teams here.
I think the other correction that they need to look at is involving Fowler a bit more in the offense. I think she's certainly capable. Terrific pass.
Great look there from Parham to Taya. Taya's foul by Haley Andrews. Going to go to the line for a couple shots.
Well, again, we talked about tight ropes, nervous, tight, whatever it is, but it's 6 turnovers in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, look, that's unfamiliar territory for the Flames. And we've seen when they've been slowed down into their half-court offense, that's where those turnovers have come. What the Flames have been so good at all year is getting out and running game. And, they've averaged that 80-plus points a game, and probably 30-plus points of those in those games were quick cheapies in the first 8 seconds in transition. Spartans have just done a really good job of taking them out of that.
And they're going to get an offensive foul. Let's see who this one goes against.
Garvin, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to go against Darcy Garvin tonight.
Stella Beck, that one.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
Stella Beck gets called for the moving screen. Tonight's referees, Maddie Crowley and Jackie Dover. The referees and the QBL referees for the 2018 season, proudly sponsored by Reliable Insurance Solutions. To get the right call on your insurance, contact the team at Reliable Insurance Solutions. As Taya again gets inside, going to get a call for the travel.
Yeah, better D from the Flames. Again, move your feet, put your body on the line.
We see Harriet Carey coming in here for Townsville. She didn't spend any time on the court last night.
No.
She has throughout the season. Rolled her ankle a couple of weeks ago in the quarterfinal, I think it was. So this is her first time back on court since then.
Well, we didn't see Carey when she was down south, Coach. Can you tell us a little bit about her game, what she brings to the table?
Yeah, look, she's an under 18 kid from up here, been through the system. She's good shooter, good catch and shoot type player. We'll try and hustle, a little bit undersized, but she'll just work as hard as she can out there, which is all you can ask from those younger kids.
Parham has it with 8 on the shot clock. Gets her feet in the paint again, finishes with the left hand. We saw a lot of Parham in the paint finishing with the left hand yesterday, Dave.
Yeah, obviously.
And then they're going to get Garvin for the moving screen. Parham a little shaken up, but she's tough.
Well, I'd like to see the replay, but I don't think she did anything wrong. I mean,
I'm going to defend Darcy Garvin there. That is a terrible call.
Yeah.
She gets that a lot in the WNBL as well, and she's one of the best players in the country at setting that early terror screen, punch screen. And the referees just see the contact and they react to it.
Well, we talked a little bit in that men's game, the screen on Wiltshire where they went for the unsportsmanlike. We thought it was quite similar to that. It's being called on the contact, not on the play.
Yeah, correct.
Here's Fowler, good skip ahead to Carey. Carey can't finish, but she's fouled.
Yeah, good take too from the youngster. Going straight at Parnham there, really good move. And that's what they need more of. You know, talk about, we talked earlier about the transition robes, and that's what they haven't done in the last 2 games is get stops down here and then run out.
And what Districts has done really smart, they did this in the round game as well, was they've been sending 2 safeties home instead of 1 traditional safety, and then they've been sending 2 straight to the ball so that they're really clamping the ball early and taking away, and then they're just allowing that first pass, but as long as they can't get a easy transition score, they're prepared to slow the Flames down, and it's worked for them.
Yeah, and we talked about that last night, Johnny, where sometimes they send they triple team the rebounder.
Yeah.
Parham looking to be aggressive. Fowler can't control the rebound though, so he's out of bounds. He's going to stay with the Spartans. It's a really frenetic pace. The crowd's really into it. This is an excellent atmosphere for a game of basketball.
Well, it's only half full still.
Yeah,
building towards the men's game, no doubt, but a great crowd here from Townsville.
And another excellent baseline out of bounds play for Spartans. Their lead's up to 10. They're doing every little thing right here to start this game too. Andrews can't finish with the left. McDowell White gets the rebound. And here comes Bear. Right at Garbin. She gets fouled. That one's going to go against Darcy Garbin, her second personal. So a little bit of foul trouble creeping in here for Townsville early.
Look, and the Spartans have been rewarded right now for putting the ball on the floor and going hard at the rim.
Yeah.
You know, like the Flames have been playing more of a passing game down the other end and haven't put the pressure on the refs so far to make those calls. That's what's resulted in this lopsided foul count right now.
And Garbin's going to stay out on the court with those 2 personals. Her team down 11. Romy Bear's been really impressive also. She was fantastic last night. Probably look at the stat sheet and think, oh, she wasn't that great, but she really controlled the tempo, I thought, for Spartans.
Well, and again, she's not a huge scorer, so but I think it was 8 dimes, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, 9 points or something. So you know, almost a triple-double, but she was, you know, great in transition for them.
Great offensive rebound and put back there from Alex Fowler. She's going to need to really step up tonight as Anderson fires an early 3. There's Fowler again with the defensive rebound. Carey certainly hasn't been shy since coming onto the court. Fowler, top of the key now. Cox looking inside for Garbin. It's not there. Good hands by Bear. Garbin recovers, shoots an air ball. And the offensive rebound stripped by McDowell White. Here's a double team on the sideline. And then Preston fouled by Carey. It's Emily Preston going to go to the free throw line for a couple shots with Townsville in the penalty.
Well, I like the intent there too of that double. We talked a little bit about it today, Johnny, around doing something different with Bear, making her do something. So a quick double as she brought the ball over. Carey just a little late on the rotation.
And Preston does a good job for Spartans off the bench. They have a lot of trust in Emily Preston, and she's delivered, especially yesterday in Game 1.
She was really good last night, yeah. She came in and, you know, filled that role, enabled the starters to get out and get their rest, and they didn't really lose anything when she was on the floor.
And that's what you want when you bring someone in off the bench. If you could bring someone in off the bench to maintain the level of play, that's an ideal situation as Andrews fouled on her way to the bucket.
And you see that, the Flames put the ball on the floor, went at the rim. They've been rewarded with that same call. So, you know, you would have to think the Townsville coaching staff will be talking about that at quarter time, which is coming up shortly, about trying to get more penetration at the rim.
Yeah.
22-10, Spartans up early here. Don't seem to have any effect with this loud crowd, the blue crew, and the entire crowd really into this one so far. Andrews hits them both. A little bit of full court defense here from Townsville. There's Parham again in the block, working against Garvin. She gets called for the offensive foul. They're going to call it for the hook. Thought they might have got her for steps, but they got her for the hook instead.
Yeah, look, trying to make sure I'm staying very impartial. I don't agree with that call either, to be honest. And now that's Parham with 2 fouls.
Well, you're
gone
impartial.
to the bench.
There's
you
two
know.
one
Yeah.
call either way you're not happy with. That's all
Yeah.
right.
We know where you're from, Coach. It's okay. Everyone watching knows where you're from.
I did grow up in Brisbane, boys.
All right, all right. Anderson puts it on the deck. Pass is tipped. Brennan rips it away, and layup is no good. That's a tough rebound there from Bear as well. Geez, Spartans are just so active on both ends of the court. And the bench just got a warning. Coach St. Maurice working the referees.
Well, there was a fair bit of contact, so I think, you know, good energy from Townsville forcing the issue.
Garvin with the hand in Ambrosia Anderson's face. Fadeaway jump shot, that's a tough shot. Good defense there from Garvin. She's really got to be careful with those 2 personal fouls.
In the last couple of minutes, the Flames have finally just, besides that shot from Cox, way off, but they've seemed to settle into their work a little bit better on the defensive end now.
McDowell White's floater is good. Jess McDowell White with the quick in and out dribble with a nice teardrop.
Well, continuing her really nice punch off the bench last night.
There's Andrews trying to find Garvin cutting to the basket. It goes out of bounds.
She's just got to look at finishing that. She had a great drive.
Yeah, look, she's seen the help come over from the weak side and decided to make that pass. You know, the way the game's been called, you know, I would have suggested, as you can see there, straight away, penetration going at the body. The refs are making the call. You know, so put the pressure on the referees to make sure they call it both ways.
Yeah, I think the players are putting a bit of pressure on it, but the noise, the level, it's certainly intense in here. It's a very tense atmosphere. The referees trying to keep that under control as well. A lot of chatter, a lot on the line. The trophy could go home to Brisbane tonight if Spartans win. Dell White goes 1 of 2. Spartans up 13. There's just about 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Garvin double team, gets it out to Michaela Cox. Cox, they swing it around. Brennan's open in the corner. 3 is up. It's too strong. Gets her own rebound. Townsville can hold for the final shot. Brennan, though, has it stolen. Beck Stevens, pass up ahead, is tipped out of bounds. So there's, Beck Haynes, I said. There's 0.9 left. This has to be at the rim, you think, Dave? Beck Haynes finds Preston. She's going to have to shoot. She's not going to get it off in time, and that's going to end the first quarter. But what a first quarter of action we saw. It's the Spartans up 13, 25-12. Coach Robel, I want to just get your quick thoughts on that first quarter of action.
Well, look, it was all set out in the first 5 minutes where the Spartans played loose, played comfortable, you know, played like they know that they don't have their season on the line tonight. They're confident. They've won twice here this year, so came out and played well, whereas the Flames just too tight. You know, like I think there was 6 turnovers in the first 5 minutes, and we've probably seen another 2 or 3 in the last couple of minutes there. Their ball control just hasn't been good enough, and that's resulted in such low offensive score for them in the first quarter.
And Dave, your thoughts on the first quarter of action?
I think, you know, good summary from Roves. I mean, you know, he was right. They had 4 more turnovers, 10 turnovers in the first quarter. You know, that's just a killer. I mean, these teams have been really good, averaging about 13.5 for the game. So, you know, again, Townsville's got to clean it up, or it's going to be pretty ugly if they don't fix it pretty quick.
We'll see if Townsville can make some adjustments. It's the quarter time break. We'll take a quick one. We'll come back with the second quarter of action for you live here from Star 106.3 FM Stadium in Townsville. Welcome back to Star 106.3 FM Stadium here in Townsville. Let's take a look at some of those quarter time statistics, Dave.
Yeah, sure. For the Spartans, we've got Ash Tyre had 8 points in maybe the first minute and a half. Terrific start for her. And then again, pretty solid contributions from lots of people. Romeo Bear, Anderson, Preston all with 4 points. Jess McDowell White 3 off the bench. So really good team basketball. And they've done a good job also to limit Aja to only 2 shots. So, and she had a bit of a quiet performance from her.
Spartans with the shot clock at 7. Haynes misses. Garvin defensive rebound. Townsville looking to push through Michaela Cox.
I don't want to sound old, but gee, that horn's pretty loud.
Mate, the Blue Crew are doing their job. They're in here early. Big 3 by Stella Beck there. You know, she's got to shoot the ball more. Last night, she put the ball on the floor a lot more, and the Spartans adjusted to that and took away that penetration. Tonight, if she's open, she's got to shoot that ball.
Well, that 3 cuts the deficit to 10 for Townsville. Bear finds Haynes cutting along the baseline. That's easy. It's a good read there by Bear off the double team.
Well, it was a good read. It also was a bad double team. Again, leaving Haynes too easy.
Big block by Haynes, but they're going to get her for the foul on Brennan. Dribble penetration for Townsville effective on that possession. I
don't mind the double team as long as everyone knows what the double team rules are, and I feel that was just a bit of an ad hoc, and they just let Haynes go on a real cheap one. They can't give up cheap buckets right now.
And if you do double team from your player in the corner, you can't afford to come that high and just let your player cut in behind your back. Especially when you're dealing with a veteran player such as Beck Haynes, who's, you know, she's probably played more QBL finals than that have been hosted in this stadium, you know, so.
Brennan goes 1 of 2. Offensive rebound, though, Beck. Out to Brennan. She's open, going to fire the 3. It hits the front of the rim. Walsh tips it, but McDowell White recovers.
Yeah, the Flames started, Johnny, first quarter, 25%, 4 of 16 shots. So they got to clean that up.
Anderson does go backcourt. She nearly saved it. McDowell White with the turnover.
And we've just seen the adjustment there from the Flames. They only played about 3 or 4 possessions of zone last night. You know, they were in a 3-2 zone there, which I think the coaching staff are hoping might be able to get them some transition play out of getting stops out of that.
Garvin wide open inside. She's fouled from behind on the push. So Darcy Garvin going to the free throw line for 2 shots. That foul goes against Anais Curvon.
Well, they really went at Curvin last night when she was in. And again, you know, just a bit of a silly foul. Could have Garvin really had it covered, but again, missed the foul shot, so not so silly.
Garvin missed them both. Haynes comes down with the defensive rebound.
Well, they shot poorly from the foul line last night too.
It's been a bit of an Achilles heel for them all year, and they've just been able to get away with it. So, you know, that sort of stuff really hurts you in the final series.
McDowell White's 3 is off. Offensive rebound though, Haynes out to Anderson. She'll fire a 3. That's off as well. Another offensive rebound though, and that's that zone. That's what hurts you.
Yeah, absolutely. You struggle with a bit of coverage in the zone.
And then Spartans capitalize on the 3rd possession with a reverse layup from Haynes.
And again, Spartans have been consistently good offensive rebounding all year long, third in the league.
Andrews flips it up, it's off. Garvin comes down with the rebound. Her reverse layup is an air ball.
Well, like I would tell my 12-year-old, use your left, on the left.
Hey, you see a bit of frustration starting to set in for Townsville a bit. The body language is not great.
Yeah, look, I don't think they need to get too panicked too early. While this is 13, you know, a lot of the first 5 minutes has accounted for a lot of that. You know, we see Anderson hit another open 3 there, and that's going to happen as well against the zone where you're going to find people open every now and then. But Flames just need to try and find a way to stay in touch here, because as soon as this gets out to beyond like a 20 sort of margin, then it's probably all over, because you can't see, after the Flames being beaten twice by this team already, I don't know if they've got that to come back from that margin. So they've got to just keep it within that margin to try and stay close enough.
Well,
Well, it's a good play by Brennan, seeing that gap and attacking and getting to the rim. Didn't get the lucky bounce, but she will go to the line for 2 shots. 32-16, the lead for Spartans. 7 minutes to go in the first half. I'll take this quick time to thank all of the Townsville basketball sponsors: A. Gabrielli Constructions, Dennis's Computers, Q Solutions, Beehive, Mendy Constructions, and also Grilled Townsville.
And I think, you know, Johnny, the other key is they've just got to break this game now into a lot of mini games, right? It's 3-minute increments of fight back. They need to get stop, rebound the ball well, and just get back in the game. Simple. I completely agree with the Robes. You're not going to win the game in the next 3 minutes. They're just going to chip it away and feel good about yourself. I mean, they've got the home crowd behind them, so they'll get momentum.
We'll see if Townsville decides to stay in that zone, because it's back-to-back threes for...
We'll see Durham coming back into the game now after she's had that rest with her 2 fouls.
7.
The Flames just looking so disjointed right now. They're just not exactly knowing where they're going in their offense.
And Spartans really disrupting them, not just defensively, but offensively as well. Really demoralizing at the moment, picking apart the Townsville defense. McDowell White's fadeaway is strong. So stop there for Townsville, but no transition opportunities. Just tremendous defensive transition from Spartans, slowing down that Townsville attack. Good footwork. Garbin misses the layup. Fowler's follow is strong as well. It's those ones that it seems to be falling for Spartans and a little too strong for Townsville.
Well, yeah, and they are, Johnny. But the other thing too is it's the same as last night. It's just island ball. So they throw it in and they hope someone does something. But there's no movement, no cutters, no divers, no weak side lift, etc. So they just really got to just focus on the little stuff and get some little action happening.
Well, there's a timeout on the floor, so we'll take one as well. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Spartans up 18 in your QBL Women's Grand Final Game 2, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media, TCTC, and Townsville Basketball. Back with you here from Star 106.3 FM Stadium. It's a 18-point lead for Spartans, Dave. Good timeout on the floor. Spartans on 3 team fouls. Townsville has none so far. There's that high-low action, a little too strong for Garbin. Another turnover for Townsville.
Well, they started this quarter 1 of 8 now for the...
Close enough. There's a minute left in the first half, so we'll take a quick break. Come back with that final minute of action live for you here from Star 106.3 FM Stadium in Townsville. Stella back at the line for 2 shots from the Townsville Flames. The Flames looking to get a bit of consistency going here.
And I think, Johnny, at the line is where they can also start pinching some points. They did a good job last night of manufacturing 26 foul shots. So that's another way. They just got to chip away, keep being aggressive.
Here is that 2-3 zone that Coach Roble was asking for. Taya's baseline jumper's off. Tipped around out of bounds off of Spartans, so it's going to stay with Townsville.
You just got more bodies in around that rebounding contest. Yeah, you're still going to get some shots, but...
There's Beck, gets in the paint, kicks it out, carries wide open for three, and that one's
There
good.
you go.
It's an 11-point deficit now for Flames, about 30 seconds to go in the first half.
And again, you know, we talked about transition. It wasn't even a great kick ahead. It just was a little bit better than what they have been doing, and they get great action out of it.
Haynes can't handle the pass, Beck leaking out. He's got an open path to the basket. Layup is good for Stella Beck. And the deficit into single digits to 9. Spartans have the ball with one opportunity for the final shot of the half.
I think she was asking for an and one, and it certainly looked that way too.
The Spartans turn it over, the clock goes out. So a nice little run to end the first half for the Flames. Spartans, though, will go into the big break up 9. It was an excellent first half of basketball. What are your thoughts there, Coach Roble, going into the big break?
I like that last minute because what that's going to do right now to the Spartans is make them have to go and talk about something. You know, for the Flames' perspective, they've given the Spartans now something to think about, whereas up until that last minute, they would have gone in feeling comfortable about themselves and going to go and make this, you know, finish off this series tonight.
Well, I just think it's just got to be simple. They know their game plan. They talked about it. You know, obviously today they made some adjustments as to how they're going to move once they get those entry passes into Garbutt. You know, I like, it's just simple. They got to get stops, push the ball in transition. That's what, you know, they were the #1 offensive team for a reason. They got to get the pace back to what they like, and that's going to get some of the three balls and that pitch and penetrate action that I think they're used to receiving all year long.
All right, well, it is halftime. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with some halftime statistics and the second half of action here live for you from Star 106.3 FM Stadium in Townsville. Welcome back, everybody, to Star 106.3 FM Stadium in Townsville. At the halftime break, it's Spartans 43 over the Flames 34. Want to take a quick time to thank all of the sponsors here for Townsville basketball: A. Gabrielli Constructions, Dennis's Computers, Q Solutions, Beehive, Mendy Constructions, and Grilled Townsville. Also need to thank TCTC, the TCTC crew running the production for us tonight. Thank you guys very much, doing a great job, and also the Australian Sports Network and James Bowman for all their support. Fellas, it's halftime. Townsville did a good job to fight back at 9. Coach Roble, if you're Townsville at the halftime break, what are you talking to your team?
Well, you just try and, that half-time's a momentum killer. You just got to try and talk about the first 5 minutes here. We were talking a little bit about it off air, and the first 5 minutes is key to whether this is going to go to game 3 or not. If the Spartans come out and regain their composure and get this thing back out to 15-20, I don't know if the Flames can bridge that back, but if they can make a run, get it right down into low single digits, force districts into calling a timeout, then it's game on.
Dave, you kind of think similar chat happening in the Spartans locker room.
Well,
do you think they're going to look at that first 5 minutes as key as well?
Well, I mean, again, if it's me, and I'm going to guess Stevens is a pretty business kind of coach, I think it's 0-0. We need to win the third. In particular, we need to have a great start, and away we go. But I think they weathered a little bit of the storm, come back from the Flames. The 13 turnovers in the first half was tough for the Flames. They got to clean that up. They can't afford a great deal in this second half if they're going to be in the game. They did a good job of hitting the glass as well in that second quarter. 10 offensive rebounds for the Flames now, and actually cleaned up a little bit of the offensive rebounding issues against the Spartans. So, much better second quarter. They won it by 4, the Flames, and so I think they got to feel, obviously better about themselves, and I think the crowd did a big part in getting the Flames back in the game.
Yeah, Spartans, though, can sniff a championship. They've got 20 more minutes to go and a 9-point lead. If you're Spartans fans, you want to stick tight. If you're Flames fans, you also want to stick tight. This is a close game, guys. I have a feeling it's going to go down to the final whistle.
Yeah, look, I think we all hope that, even if the Spartans get over the line and we don't get game 3, I just hope we get a better contest than what we had with that 20-point game last night.
Yeah, it's been a good game so far. It'd be interesting to see if the Flames can carry their momentum over from that end of the first half into the second. And interesting to see what the Spartans do to adjust to try and run home with another championship, making it back-to-back. But the second half now underway, and Spartans will have the first possession. Again, a bit of zone here from Townsville.
Special shout out too, Johnny, to local loyal listener Tommy Amar down in Brisbane.
Anderson shoots over the zone and drains a 3 to start the half for Spartans.
Just to start, the Spartans have won, obviously. They've come out and made that first shot. That'll get them feeling good about themselves again. They'll just be aiming for a couple of scores and a couple of stops to start off the quarter.
Walsh has it. Cox is open in the corner. 3-pointers and air ball. And Beck Haynes gets the rebound. It's a good look. Anderson gets inside, kicks it to Taya, wide open for 3. That one bounces around the rim. And then they're going to get, I think it's going to be Ainsley Walsh over the back on Aja Parham. It is going to go against Ainsley Walsh, the first team foul of the half.
Yeah, Andrews, Brennan, and Cox boys 0 for 12 so far.
And that's just not going to get done. They're just leaving too much pressure on Garvin and Beck right now.
Yeah.
Other players need to step up and contribute.
Back inside, can't get the friendly bounce. Gets her own rebound though. Tries to find Garvin and it's turned over.
Yeah, Garvin's got to give that up earlier in trans. Look to get it back. And good job from Tyre under the rim. Did a good job of protecting the paint.
Here's Tyre on the wing. Picks up the dribble, skip past to Parham. She's open, gonna fire the 3, and that's good as well. So back-to-back threes for Spartans. Push the lead back out to 15.
Those ones hurt when it wasn't necessarily a bad defensive set, just a big shot late in the clock.
There's Cox driving baseline. She's blocked by Ambrosia Anderson, and then she loses it out of bounds. Gonna stay with Spartans. Haley Andrews checking in for Michaela Cox.
Yeah, interesting sub that
I was
one.
just gonna
Yeah.
say, is that a little?
Look, I know from years of dealing with Michaela Cox with the Townsville Fire, sometimes she can get a little bit in her own head and sometimes just needs a minute or so to settle her thought process down, and missing that three, you know, maybe Coach St. Maurice just pulled her out for a second to try and get her a little bit settled.
Beck
Great
gets
take.
it to fall plus the foul. That's the first bucket of the half for Townsville. It's going to be a three-point play opportunity.
We talked about her needing more possessions than last night. Only 3 of 9 last night. She was good, but we need more of her for those Townsville fans. And so that's something that they can get all night long. Those nice aggressive takes. Put Bear under pressure. A great take.
McDowell White back on for Spartans, checking in for the captain, Beck Haynes. Beck's free throw is short. Rebound tipped around, Bear grabs it.
And not that Jess is a bad defender, but right now this is where I'll be trying to get Cox straight back into the game, particularly if that's the matchup that ends up going, so that Cox could play against someone a little bit shorter, not as long, and maybe get some confidence going.
Townsville forces the turnover, little double team, little too aggressive. Looks like that one's going to go against Ambrosia Anderson. That's the second team foul on Spartans here in the third. And Coach Roble can see into the future as Michaela Cox checks in. Do you have the direct line to Coach St. Maurice? Mark, did you?
Look, we've spent a bit of time together in some state teams. So
Andrews in the corner. The three is short. They're good looks. They're just not falling at the moment.
Well, they need more than good looks too, Johnny. That's just, it is what it is. They got to start making buckets or Spartans will be lifting the trophy.
Anderson double team, fadeaway jump shot, rolls off the side of the rim. That's a tough rebound there from Beck as well. Kicks ahead for Cox. There's Garbin on the baseline, working against Bear. Now Andrews has it, going to the left, hands inside for Brennan. Shots missed, the follow is no good. Garbin, I thought she grabbed the rebound. Bear tries to chase it down, and she steps out of bounds, so it's going to stay with Townsville.
look at a lot of contact let go on a couple of those shots there. So interesting, the refs have blown it that way the whole game though.
Yeah.
Around the post stuff, they haven't, blown too many fouls. In the open floor, they've been making those calls.
Brennan now with Anderson guarding her. Goes inside, creates some space, and gets the layup to fall. Good take there by the veteran Lisa Brennan. She's not ready to retire just yet. She wants to go to game 3. Bear working the baseline. She steps out of bounds. Another turnover for Spartans. Emily Preston going to check in for Ambrosia Anderson.
And we've seen that 3-2 zone so far this quarter. I'm just waiting for that switch to get flicked as that last minute or so in the second quarter. I'm sure it'll come. Coach St. Maurice is probably just waiting for the right time.
They got to move out of here. They're just watching.
Pass nearly turned over. It falls to Beck, and she lays it up and in.
Well executed play out of nothing.
The fake backdoor fumble. Let's pick up the scraps and make a layup. Just as he drew it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Townsville needs all of those plays to fall their way.
Well, this is the closest they've been since the early on in the game, Johnny. 9-point game.
Bear turns it over again, so back-to-back turnovers for Spartans. Let's see if Townsville can capitalize on this extra possession. 5:39 to go in the third, and Spartans up by 9.
And that's probably the first little crack I've seen from the Spartans. Bear going at her own players, and they forced her into a situation where she's trying to put the ball on the floor, which isn't necessarily her game.
Andrews working against Jess McDowell. White gets past her. Layup is good. Townsville cuts it to 7, and the Spartans are forced to take a timeout with 5:25 to go in the third. Townsville rolling at the moment, so good timeout for Spartans. We're going to take one as well. We'll come back with you shortly here live from Star 106.3 FM Stadium in Townsville. Back with you here at Star 106.3 FM Stadium in Townsville. The Flames have cut the deficit to 7, 49-42. Really good time out there from Spartans. You mentioned it before we went to that break. They're starting to see a little frustration set in for Southern Districts.
Yeah, and they're back to their set that they ran to start the game, where they had a really good success out of. Parham on the tough finish.
Parham was blocked by Garvin, and now Townsville looking to push. Andrews kicks ahead, and it's just too low and strong for Brennan. It goes out of bounds. Right idea, wrong execution.
How good, I'll just go back before the timeout. Andrews on the little Carmelo play. Little hezzy on the baseline on McDowell White. Tough move.
And here's that 2-3 zone.
Layup, I mean.
Look, I don't know if shot, but it should have been the layup there, yeah. She's seen Bear coming over on help and just panicked a little bit, yeah.
Here's Parham, she's gonna fire a three. That rolls in and out. Defensive rebound to Lisa Brennan. Brennan looking to go at Preston, gets through the defense. She's blocked though by Bear. And here comes Romy Bear.
Got to pick up the ball. This is where Bear has been tough.
Taya retreats, gets it to Parham with Garvin on her. Parham kicks it. We're going to get that foul there on Michaela Cox on the reach-in.
Cox not happy about it, obviously, asking the same thing down the other end, which she obviously missed out on. So
yeah, I think after she made that pass on the lab, she gave up. She didn't get whacked.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Taya now at the free throw line. She's stripped by Brennan, recovers. Picks up her dribble. Now McDowell White has it with 2 on the shot clock. Has to throw up a wild one. And that's a shot clock violation. So the noise, I think, getting to the Spartans as well a little bit here. Spartans, though, holding that 9-point lead, 51-42. We've got about 3:15 to go in the third quarter.
What a luxury for Spartans, though. They've had this little 5 minutes, which hasn't gone quite right for them. Pull Beck Haynes in off the bench just to come and settle some things down.
And both teams have done a pretty good job of the tempo, but it's been a real grind. 8-all in this quarter.
Garvin fires the jump shot, which is short. Beck, though, steals the rebound, misses the layup. And now Garvin recovers out to Carey for 3. That one's up, and that's strong. Offensive rebound, though. Darcy Garvin out to Cox for 3. It's up.
There you go.
Michaela Cox sees the 3 fall. That cuts their deficit to 6.
And that's all the really good players need, Johnny. Just one going through.
And that could be the thing that just ignites her now.
Haynes, Bear recovers, finds Taya. Baseline jump shot is too strong. Garvin and Brennan for the blocking foul.
Yeah, look, she just wasn't quite there. There was a little bit of movement, but 50-50 call there. You wouldn't have been surprised whichever way it went.
It was a good attempt to draw the charge, but it's so hard when you're so close underneath the basket like that. 9 times out of 10, referees are going to go with the block. So Beck Haynes at the free throw line for 2 shots.
And as we said, Haynes coming up with the play they need to at the right time.
I think it's your friend Rasheed Wallace that said, ball don't lie, isn't that right?
Well,
he's a good friend of yours, David. Yeah. No. Second one, though, is good.
Even the ball had it as a 50-50 call. There you go.
That's right, see?
So Haynes going to come back off the court. Ambrosia Anderson going to get a breather. Excuse me, Anderson checks back in. Back with you here live from Star 106.3 FM Stadium in Townsville. Want to take a quick second to thank all of the Townsville basketball sponsors: A. Gabrielli Constructions, Dennis's Computers, Q Solutions, Beehive, Mendy Constructions, and Grill Townsville. We're heading into the last 10 minutes of Game 2 with the Spartans up 5. Can it get it? Does it get any better than this, guys? The title could be going home tonight, or we could be heading for a Game 3 tomorrow.
Look, I want to see Game 3, John. They're two great teams going at each other. And I know the Spartans fans back there will say it's just because I'm from Townsville, but I'd love to see these two teams going around again tomorrow. So, you know, I'm hoping the Flames can keep this run going and force it to a Game 3.
Dave, I know you're looking at the stats. What are you seeing there in the stat sheet that's telling you a bit of the story that's happened so far through 3?
Yeah, well, it was a pretty even. Obviously, we talked about how even it was and low scoring for the Flames. 8 of 22, so this percentage isn't great, but the 22 attempts is good because for a team that struggled to get some buckets last night, and for Spartans, they were pretty dry too. Only 4 field goals in that third quarter, 4 of 14. So again, both teams tightening up. You know, both teams getting a little fatigued. 2 games in 2 days. Just comes down to a bit of grit and how bad you want it.
There's Cox getting in the paint. Up and under, layup, no good, but she's fouled on her way to the basket.
What's really interesting, John, was, you know, while we're off air there, Dave and I were from our elevated position here looking over at the time, at the 3/4 time. And you had the districts bench that was animated. It was like Beck was straight in the middle and going at the team the whole time, obviously trying to enforce how important this was from the minute they got to the bench, where you looked at the Flames end and it was super cool, and you know, they were relaxed and just talking about what they need to do. So it'll be interesting to see how that reflects on these teams coming out here.
56-53 the lead now for Spartans. Bit of pressure here from Townsville, looking to ramp it up, try and force some turnovers. McDowell White's going to fire the wing 3. That's off the side of the rim. Good rebound there from Fowler. Andrews drives baseline, steps back, tries to pass it deep. Oh, it's blocked. Garvin thought about the 3. They go back and reverse it to Andrews. She will fire the wing 3. It's up and in and out. Ambrosia Anderson with the D-board. Parham's going to fire a 3. That's short off the front of the rim. Good defense there from Cox.
Well, if the Flames can get a bucket or 2 in the next minute and secure the lead.
Fowler goes to the right hand.
Gonna go crazy.
The deficit is 1. The blue crew's up. The Flames are down 1. Let's see if Spartans can respond. Ambrosia Anderson fires a 3 that goes in and out. Parham offensive rebound, and she's fouled.
Well, again, you know, bad shot. You know, really quick shot.
And look, that's panic starting to set in a little bit. You know, like it wasn't the greatest shot. She got bailed out a little bit by Parham getting on the glass so hard. I think at quarter time, first quarter, we didn't see this coming. I think all 3 of us were sort of looking at each other thinking this might be a bit hard to call as the game goes on. But the Flames have certainly come back and made a contest of it.
It's been a bit of a defensive struggle in this second half. Neither team really able to get going consistently on offense. Parham hits 1 of 2 to put the lead back up to 2 for Spartans.
And that's just the pressure of playoff basketball. They're the top 2 ranked offensive teams in the league. You know, for this to be this low score, it's just that, you know, that extra pressure on every single shot that's been taken.
And you talk about pressure, Robes. Only 4 of 22 from 3 for the Flames tonight.
Parham goes to the left hand. She's got Garvin on her now. Finds McDowell White open for 3. It's up. It's good. That's a big bucket there for Jess McDowell White. Yeah, increasing the Spartans lead to 5.
Good looking shot. And again, it was all set up through Parham's patience. And then a great pass on the money. McDowell White did what she needed to do.
Andrews misses that 3. Bit of pressure here from Townsville. McDowell White's pass is recovered by Preston. Anderson goes to the right. She's fouled by Stella Beck.
Okay, I'm going to take this one for Robes. That was a rough call.
Look, I disagree probably,
Really?
Dave. I think, Stella, did a good job to try and get in position, but that's the way they've ref the whole game.
Yeah,
They've rewarded the person trying to get to the hoop.
I thought she showed her hands and moved her feet and got her with the chest. It was good D, but
Yeah, I thought I'd have to side with Dave on that one. Not that my opinion counts anywhere near as much as yours do. But Anderson was a little out of control, kind of falling over a bit also. So
but again,
hard to see them rewarding her for that, but that's okay.
Yeah, as Robe said though, that's good on Anderson for forcing the issue, making the referees make a play or make the call. And again for the Spartans, that it's they need to manufacture a little bit of offense. They've been a little funky the last quarter as well.
2 misses there for Anderson, and there's a foul. I think that one's good. Let's see who they're giving that one to.
On Taya.
Yeah, Ash Taya. Rummy Bear going to check back in, as is Ainsley Walsh for Townsville.
Haynes been on the bench a bit more than normal tonight, Robes?
Look, I don't know if it's if Beck Lewis is just playing a bit safe in case it does go to a game 3 and saving a bit of legs, but she only came in for that 1 or 2 possessions in the third quarter. It is a bit of a mystery right now.
Cox from the top of the key rattles home another 3, cutting the Townsville deficit to 2.
Yeah, good read. They went under Fowler's screen and Cox punished them. Big 3.
Bear looking
Great
inside.
pass.
What a bullet pass to Preston, plus the foul.
Now, I've got more concern with that foul, based on how they've called the post play the whole game. To then suddenly call something that soft, is not in context for how the way they've called the game.
Yeah.
How about the pass, though, from Bear with the bullet?
Yeah. Great pass, great vision to find her. And it was a nice finish by Preston, yeah.
She finishes the 3-point play, so the lead back to 5.
Yeah, feels a little bit like last night. We kind of thought Kansas coming back, and every time they did, Townsville had an answer. And Spartans have done a great job too. Every time the Flames are looking good.
Ash Taya.
See now, that was an unsportsmanlike last night.
And that's Taya's 4th foul now, so that just applies a little bit of pressure to a Spartans team.
You would think maybe now's the time, and you see Anderson checking in. Thought it might have been Haynes coming in for Taya, but Ambrosia Anderson gets the call.
Look, something's not right there. Here's
Michaela Cox. Now Fowler has it. Goes to the left hand. Gets in. Reverse layup is good for Fowler.
Great take. And that was something we talked about off air last night, Johnny, was how do they involve Fowler more?
McDowell White open for 3. She hits another one almost from the same exact spot to put the lead back up to 6 for Spartans.
She made some big buckets last week in that game against Ipswich as well. Down the stretch, she's plays way beyond her age, Jess McDowell White.
Beck picks up her dribble. Now Garvin, corner 3 is up. That rattles home for Dorsey Garvin. So Garvin answers the McDowell White 3.
I like it. Good hoops now. Last few minutes, both teams trading 3s.
Parham looking for a screen from Anderson. Goes inside for Preston. Nice pass for Anderson to lay it in.
Yeah, terrific vision.
That's beautiful offense, too. It's just nice to see.
Yeah.
They've had that high post catch, then found the backside of the zone a couple of times now. Maybe it's time for the Flames to change up out of it, even if it's going back to a man, whatever it may be. But the Spartans seem to have just suddenly found a bit of an answer for that 3-2 zone.
Ainsley Walsh missed the 3.
Good look.
We're approaching the 5-minute mark. The Spartans up 5 on the Flames. Spartans win this one, they're taking the trophy back to Southern Districts. If Flames win this one, we're going to 3. McDowell White blocked by Alex Fowler. That's going to put Townsville into the penalty. McDowell White going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Oh, wow, 2 shots. There was another dribble after that foul.
I think it's the 5th.
No, it's only the
All
fourth
right,
team
sorry.
foul. Yeah.
I was looking at it thinking they were going to change it over to 5, but yeah, they're going to give Jess McDowell White 2 shots.
I'm just going to zip it because I didn't think it was a foul anyway. Like, jeez. I mean, you're going to let, there's a good contest going on under the rim and they go and let that on the drive? It just was.
McDowell White goes 1 of 2. Preston knocks it out of bounds. I think for me, I always say it, but I think people forget that basketball is a physical sport. You're allowed to make contact.
Absolutely.
Beck picks up her dribble, looking for Garvin. Garvin, there's the double team. She tries to spin through it, and she's held up. And they're going to get Garvin for the travel.
And that's the double team that we saw last night. So when Districts went late in the game into the switching on the on-balls with Garvin, and Garvin tried to roll down McDowell White, that's when Spartans were sending that help. So we'll see if the Flames have made any adjustments today to that.
And she tried to step through on that screen, which again wasn't a bad decision, but Romy did a good job of tying the ball up.
There's 6 on the shot clock. Anderson finds Parham on the left wing. Gets inside the paint, kicks it. McDowell White, corner 3 is up, and that one's good as well. Jess McDowell White shooting the lights out here tonight for Spartans.
Yeah, great big bucket again.
There's Cox looking to answer with her own 3, and she does. 72-66 the score. We're under 4 minutes to go here in Game 2 of the QBL Grand Final Series. There's McDowell White, short jumper. That's good as well. Jess McDowell White absolutely carrying the Spartans for minutes here now. There's a timeout taken, though, on the floor. We're going to take one as well with 3:50 to go in the game, and the Spartans up 9. We'll be back shortly for you live from Star 106.3 FM Stadium in Townsville. Back with you live from Star 106.3 FM Stadium in Townsville. 74-65 the lead for Spartans, 3:50 to go. And it's been the Jess McDowell White show in the 4th quarter. She has responded tremendously to every run that Townsville has had.
Three triples in this fourth, Johnny. 15 points, has been huge off the bench.
Now Beck has it, looking to get inside, kicks it out. Brennan's blocked by Parham. McDowell White recovers.
Great closeout.
And there's a foul by Brennan. That one is going to be the 5th, and McDowell White going to go to line for 2 shots as Townsville now into the penalty. And Aja Parham has been blocking shots all season long. That's not a one-off. She's one of the top shot blockers in the whole competition from the guard spot.
And again, it's great to see because that's how committed she is to closing out. Game on the line. They're up a reasonable margin, and she's still closing out as hard as she can. Inspirational when the teams see that kind of effort. And again, they're rewarded with a couple of foul shots.
And McDowell White hits them both.
She's just got ice in her veins right now, McDowell White.
Certainly. Andrews picks up her dribble. Now Cox driving baseline, keeps the dribble alive, finds Garvin open, top of the key 3, blocked again by Parham. Bear recovers, tries to throw the baseball pass. A lot of contact. A couple of young fellas took a bit of a squish along the seats over there. It's out of bounds though off Parham, so it's going to go back to Townsville.
I think she'd rather hit the couple of kids instead of the pole. So.
A little bit more squishing the kids.
The kids get moved. But they've really got about a minute to make something happen for me, the Flames.
Andrews' three is up. That's too strong. Preston with the defensive rebound, and she's fouled. That's a bad foul there. 3 minutes to go. In the penalty, you got to be situationally aware.
Yeah, really bad foul.
It's a bad foul, but I don't know if that was any more aggressive than what we've seen the whole game on a rebound.
It was a fairly quick trigger, I have to admit, too.
Yeah.
Especially considering it wasn't, you know, a hack. They literally were both trying to tie the ball up. So.
And look, was Coach St. Maurice maybe a minute late with that timeout against the zone?
Yeah.
McDowell White got herself going. You can ask those questions, but it's really an uphill battle right now for the Flames.
Preston's been excellent too. She seems to have gotten a lot of those minutes that we would see Beck Haynes normally get. 2 big free throws there from Emily Preston. The lead is up to 12 now with under 3 minutes to go. Spartans can smell blood.
Yeah, 24 big points off the bench, off the Spartans bench has been key. And that's coming exactly through McDowell White and Preston, who've both been excellent.
Garvin hits the layup. Spartans going to look to work some clock here. McDowell White doesn't use the screen, finds Bear on the drop. Bear again back to McDowell White inside. Parham recovers and lays it in with the right hand. Spartans have an answer for everything. They wore the run by Townsville, and they get it back out to 10.
Well, Spartans are kind of happy to trade buckets now for the next couple of minutes, and they're going to be the champions if they continue to do that.
Well, if you're the Spartans right now, you're basically playing the no-3 rule.
Yeah.
You know, like you're contesting hard on everything. If they want to go and get layups, they're not going to chip away this lead that quickly.
Haley Andrews gets called for a blocking foul. Going to send Barrett to the free throw line for 2 shots with just about 2 minutes to go in this game.
Hey, good minutes from Carey tonight. You know, great experience for her, and I think she did a good job.
.69, under 2 to go. Beck misses the jump shot. Bear recovers, and Spartans happy to work the clock here now. It's been an amazing game here as Parham goes backdoor and lays it up and in. The timeout's taken on the floor. Garvin, a bit frustrated, slams the ball on the court. She's going to get the warning from the referees. But 14 points of the lead now for Spartans, 83-69, a minute 37 to go.
Yeah, look, it's you know, very disappointing for the Flames. Obviously, they've had such a great season, and now they're going to get. Looks like they're going to go out in straight sets at home. You know, they've only lost to 2 teams all season. They lost 1 away game to Rocky, and they've lost every game to the Spartans now by the looks of it. So, you know, sometimes you need to lose a grand final to know how to win one. So we'll see if the Flames can learn from this experience this year and come back and maybe next year meet the Spartans again, who seem to always be there around about grand final time.
The Spartans are the hottest team in the competition. They ripped off 11 straight heading into the finals. They've been undefeated on their way here to the grand finals, and they've been super impressive through games 1 and game 2 here in Townsville. To come here, and Townsville got the lead to the deficit to 4. And what a response, though, from Spartans. It's just been a super impressive 2 games. And really, you know, I hate to call it over, but it is kind of over with a minute 40 to go in the game.
Yeah, look, it's miracle territory right now for the Flames to dig themselves out of this one.
Andrews gets the pass, gets to the bucket. Layup blocked by McDowell White, but they're going to get her for the foul. That's going to put Townsville on the line for 2 shots as Spartans are now in the penalty. And it was a lot, we mentioned it before though, that Spartans bench led by McDowell White, but Preston was excellent. And it is interesting to see them doing this without Rebecca Haynes, because she may not always fill the stat sheet, but she just does a little bit of everything. But we saw McDowell White scoring tonight. Last night it was setting up teammates. Preston's come in and done a lot of those little things that Beck Haynes does, and that goes to that depth, and that really is the strength of this Spartans group, and one of the reasons why they're about to wrap up back-to-back QBL championships.
Absolutely, and only 14 minutes of Beck Haynes tonight, which kind of makes it even more impressive from the Spartans crew that have switched on and did whatever they needed to do.
And Beck Lewis, you know, she's gone from that transition from player to coach and gone 2 titles straight away, you know, so she won that many titles as a player with Southern Districts over the years, and now she's made that transition and doing a fantastic job on the sidelines.
I got to give a shout out to Chris Mudridge checking in. Beck Haynes has won 4 QBL championships in a row, 2 with the Rocky Cyclones and now 2 with the Spartans. Also got to give a shout out to our guy down in Carina, Byron Luton. And thanks everyone also for tuning in on the live stream. But gee, I just can't say it enough though, guys. The Spartans have been super impressive. When we first saw them earlier this season was without the full squad, and a lot of the players that you see coming off the bench played big minutes, and you have to think that playing those big minutes early in the season, getting with the group of veterans and earning that time and understanding and playing in that system has really benefited the Spartans throughout this run to the championship.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've had a bit of a decent core for a while now. So, you know, I think Arjapanam's been terrific in this series. I mean,
we see a technical foul there called on Beck Haynes. She obviously wasn't pleased with that foul called at the other end. But that's disappointing to me for that call to be made. You know, like the game's faded away. In that last time out, we had Darcy Garvin warned for frustratingly throwing the ball away, and now a tech foul. Like, let's just get the game finished, guys, and
A minute to go. 85-74. Couple free throws, possession.
Yeah.
Could it potentially have an effect on the final?
You wouldn't think so. 10 points in a minute would be a big stretch, but it is possible.
Yeah, and I think you know, for the Flames, who have had a terrific season, obviously you know, not the way they wanted to end, but Garvin was terrific as well this weekend.
Cox banks home a 3, cuts the deficit to 7. And Townsville going to foul. They're going to go with the unsportsmanlike.
Wow. Again.
Yeah.
I'm going to not say any more.
We need Regan Baker here to give us the referee's explanation. But from the understanding that I have of that rule, they have to make a play at the ball, and it can't be excessive contact. I didn't see either of those, so referees make the call. Parham hits them both.
That's a reaction call to the unsportsmanlike that was called last night.
Yeah.
Which Southern Districts went off about when we had that open court play, and you saw straight away Parham turn to the ref then and make that point, and the refs have reacted to it.
Yeah, they didn't call it initially. Parham asked them for it, and the referees gave it to him. Turnover, though, for Spartans. Andrews going to fire a 3. It's up, short, and then goes out of bounds. And Andrews missed Michaela Cox for the little flick behind the back. There's another foul by Andrews and another unsportsmanlike.
Wow, that's just silly.
And now a tech foul called on the Townsville bench.
Yeah, this is it's getting a bit out of control. It's getting a bit silly now with under a minute to go in the game 2 decider, it looks like.
And what a shame, because this has been such a great game.
Yeah.
You know, for it to finish this way, neither team deserves this right now.
No.
You know, the Spartans should be enjoying themselves, you know, enjoying this last minute of the game. And this is just very frustrating.
Ellie Andrews done. She's going to walk off the court to a rousing ovation.
So 2 unsportsmanlike fouls. She's been ejected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit disappointing for Haley Andrews to finish up here in Townsville with the double unsportsmanlike.
Well, that's a story for her new teammates in Portland, right?
Yeah, it will be, yeah. And while we're talking about that, if any of her coach or her teammates from over there are watching, we'll give a shout out to the Portland team because they were very gracious in allowing her to stay the extra week. She was meant to be on a plane on Tuesday over to the States, and Greg Vanderjagt worked his magic to be able to keep her here for the extra week. So
no, they got a really good talent. She's been good this weekend.
Yeah, quite a few players you see. You got Jess McDowell-White also heading overseas to play at Eastern Washington, and it looks like she'll be heading over there with another championship ring as Parham drains the free throws. Lead is out to 12. Gonna wonder if Townsville is gonna continue to foul or if they're gonna let the clock run.
I think they're scared of any more unsportsmanlike, so they'll probably just let them walk into the key.
And it will be an aggressive defense, and Beck nearly forced the turnover. Bear recovers, it's all tied up. They're gonna call it jump ball, possession arrow with Spartans. One thing's for sure though, Townsville not gonna make it easy here for Spartans, but it's mathematical now. Super impressive weekend from the Southern District Spartans though. Yeah. That depth, it's never just one player really doing it for them. It's a real team effort. And I think the better team this weekend won, and you can see that from the Spartans bench. They're really excited. They're looking to celebrate with just about 34 seconds to go in the game.
With the last minute that's taken about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we will have Game 2 of the men's grand final series for you as the Townsville Heat host the Cairns Marlins. Well, with that turnover, Spartans are going to let the shot clock and the game clock run out, and they're going to lift the QBL championship trophy for the second year in a row. The Southern District Spartans, your 2018 QBL champions, with a 90-78 win over the Townsville Flames. The Spartans are going to celebrate. And Dave, I got to ask you the first question. Who's your player of tonight's game and your player of this 2-game series?
Well, for me, it's, Aj Parham's been terrific. I had my speech ready to go, Johnny, but she kept getting free throws with all the unsportsmanlike. So I think she finished with 23 points, 8 assists, 18 and 8 last night, couple of key blocks, terrific defense, great passing. I mean, she was incredible the last two games. And tonight, a little special mention for Jess McDowell-White, who gave them a massive punch off the bench, 17 points. I'd argue she was the reason why they got it done in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, she was definitely a big part of the championship trophy presentation to come. Coach, do you have your thoughts on player of the game in the series?
The player of the game to me tonight was McDowell-White. When the game was there to be won, she was the person that just took over the game. She made those big buckets. She made some plays on the defensive end as well. And you can't go past Parham for player of the series. She was dynamic and just dominated the game last night. And tonight, she ended up with good numbers again and was a major contributor. So she was definitely, to my mind, player of the series. Yep.
It was an excellent series. The Spartans come into Townsville and win the series 2-0. Game 2 final score is 90-78. We're going to wrap things up for you here. Congratulations to the Southern District Spartans for their championship win yet again in 2018. I got to thank everybody from the TCTC crew. I got to thank James Bowman from the Australian Sports Network for all his support, the graphics and the technical support. I got to thank Coach Mark Roble for joining us on the call. I got to thank Dave Derwin on the commentary for me. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. And don't forget, we will have the men's Game 2 coming for you shortly.